right on the top of the termite mound. You can see the little spots there dappled on the termite mound, and we will get you closer, but I just thought I would give you that initial glimpse. Folks, we are in for an absolute treat. Copy that, yours. Welcome back and make your way. This is going to be absolutely incredible. She's draped over this termite mound in front of us, and the afternoon light is just absolutely spectacular on her. And once you get into position, you will decide to get up and go, and that makes me think that it could be Shadow. She can sometimes be a little bit nervous of the vehicles. Well, obviously I had no intentions of chasing her off there, and she appeared so relaxed from the moment we saw her that I didn't expect that as a reaction. And like I said, I think it's Shadow. Anyway, this is great. We've got a beautiful female leopard on the move, and I'm not sure if you, the viewers, will manage to get a good enough glimpse as to who you think it could be. But I think it's Shadow, just judging by her body language. Seems to be listening to something very intently up ahead. It's possibly that she heard something and has now become interested in it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's not concerned about the vehicle. She's just moving off to our right-hand side now. And I'm going to try and get into a position where I can see she's heading to, and wait for her to come towards us. And that will allow you to get a few good views of her. There we go, looks like we found a spot here. This is going to be magical. Absolutely beautiful. She sounds like, well, it looks like she's listening to something. She's coming straight up towards our vehicle, and I'm not sure what she may have heard. I've been looking in that direction, but it's quite thick, so difficult to say what it could be. But enjoy these beautiful sights. Her tail twitching with excitement. What does she know? What could lie ahead? So, like I said a bit earlier, folks, if any of the viewers, like Raisa or Ellen Fowler, just to name a few, are watching, who do you think this leopard is? And I'm sure there's a lot more of you that are also great at identifying the different leopards. But those are the two names that came to mind first. And for those of you who are new to the show, we are very fortunate and get to view these leopards fairly regularly. And there's a great amount known about their history and lineage. And because of their very particular spot patterns, people are able to identify the different leopards. And that helps us to keep track of their movements and their stories. Good afternoon, Gail, and thanks for reminding me to say this. Gail would like to know, how far away is Sindile, Shadow's cub, if this is indeed Shadow? And he is about half a mile as the crow flies. And isn't it wonderful watching how these beautiful cats can dissolve into their surroundings? I'm going to follow her at a distance in order to make sure we don't disrupt her afternoon hunting. And that's going to make for some tricky viewing, but it's important that we be as sensitive as we can when following any of the animals around through their home. And by being sensitive, it allows them to be relaxed and share more of their daily life with us. I'm just going to stop and listen and just double check that there aren't in fact any prey nearby. And none that I can see, so we can continue. There's another termite plant up ahead that she was veering towards, and I'm guessing we could well find her up there. I can't see her. She disappeared quite far ahead of us before we continue to follow her. And you can see Andrew pointing up ahead. Yes, oh, there she goes. She appears to be actually running after something. We're not going to be able to get you there in time, but she did just disappear around that corner. She did appear to be bounding after something. I couldn't see what it was. Too far distance. But we'll keep moving in that direction and see if we don't get lucky. Shot off through here, and it may be difficult for you to get an idea of distance, but she was about 50 meters away. There she is. Just going to wait here and see what she's doing before we move any further. It's going to make it difficult for Andrew to show her to you, but she is in there. You can see her if you focus. Or you might just see a white tail twitching. Okay, well done to, well, not well done, but thank you to Natasha, Christy, and Patsy. You all believe that it is indeed Shadow, so I hope you as well as myself are right. And now you can see her a little bit more clearly. There's a Cape turtle dove calling in the background, and what a scene this is. I am going to move forward ever so slightly. Good afternoon, Emily in South Carolina, and thanks for sending your question through. Emily would like to know, is there a reason for Shadow to be a little bit timid of the vehicles? Did something happen in her upbringing? No, Emily, not that I know of. I think it's simply because it's her personality. I have watched numerous leopard cubs grow up and be exposed to exactly the same pressure or influences as their siblings, yet one may be relaxed and another may be a lot more nervous. So just like humans, animals have their own personalities, and I don't think that anything negative would have happened to her. We can look at two young male leopards that we've seen growing up called Djuma and Quarantine, who are also offspring of this leopard's mother called Karula. And we're just going to try and watch her from as far away as possible, and we've got a great little gap here. And sorry, as I was saying, Djuma and Quarantine both have very different personalities. Djuma would often snarl at the vehicle and grimace, and even that would change between him on one day to the next, whereas his brother Quarantine tended to be a lot more relaxed with us. So those are another two examples of two siblings. They've been through exactly the same things in their life, basically. Ooh. She is creeping as quietly and stealthily as possible. I'm almost certain she knows something's nearby, and at any stage she could pounce. You could see how delicately she was trying to place her feet down step by step. The grass is very, very dry, and there's a lot of dead leaves littered on the earth. And it's incredibly difficult to move silently through this vegetation. The wind now has died down. It's very, very still and almost deathly quiet, other than the Cape turtle dove you could hear a bit earlier. There's not much noise to muffle this leopard's approach, so she's going to have to move very, very slowly. Her ear, and I think she could be lying down. Just going to creep forward again. There, Andrew.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Kathy, and thanks for sending your question through. Isn't it incredible how, as Andrew zooms in, the leopard is revealed amongst that blankets of golden grass that she disappears so easily into. Again, welcome on board, Kathy, and Kathy would like to know, how will this leopard find her cub again? Will it be from scent marking, or what exactly would it be? And it wouldn't be from scent marking. It would be more likely that, or exactly what she'll do is go back into the general area where she left him and contact calls. So they let off small calls and that way get in touch with one another again. Hopefully we'll see that a bit later. Yours, at the moment she's lying up in the block, probably 150 meters west of Zoe's and about 100 meters north of Balanati's. Affirmative, north and west. I'll get your audio when you get a bit closer. So I'm just giving yours directions how to join us here. And it's always a bit tricky calling people into the thick bush. Well, I hear there's a little bit of a debate on Twitter as to which leopard this may be, but one of our leopard ID experts, Raisa, does think that it's shadow, and more often than not, Raisa is correct. But I do believe there's a few of you who aren't convinced, and that's fine. I'm hoping we're going to get a few more better views of her, and that way you'll be able to make sure which leopard it is. Yorsa, I've got your audio. You're sounding like you're heading in the right direction. Yorsa, you on Zoe's now? Okay, if you just head straight west from there. Good afternoon, Tim from Holland, and welcome on board with us. Tim would like to know how many litters a leopard could have in a lifetime, and quite easily 5 or 6 litters in a leopard's lifetime. A very successful female might squeeze in 1 or 2 more than that. And how many cubs do they most often have? They most often have 2 cubs, but I think very rarely a leopard will manage to raise 3 and give birth to 3. But more often than not, it's only 2 cubs. She's just got up now and mobile west, and it is believed to be shadow. Thanks very much for sending that question through, Tim. And this leopard, I think, is about 6 years old. And I'm not sure how many litters she's had, but she certainly does have 1 8-month-old cub now. And I think she has had 1 or 2 before that. Very good, George. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Good, very good.
Cool. Yeah. So we're just going to let yours have a chance to follow her, and while he does that, we're going to take a very wide berth so as to not put too much pressure onto the situation. We're not leaving by any means, but we're just going to lag behind a bit, give yours a chance to show his guests the leopard, and it won't be long before she does pop out into a more open area where we'll get some much better views. So we're just going to hang around here for a little bit. Well, good afternoon to Matthew, who's watching at the Dayton's Children's Hospital, and hello to Matthew and all of your friends there. I hope you're all enjoying your safari with us this afternoon. Brent's found the leopard, now James found the leopard for us, and how incredible is it that we've seen both the son, the young leopard Sindile, and his mother, Shadow. And Matty would like to know whether Shadow is on her way back to try and find Sindile. And I think she is. She's heading in that direction, but she's still hungry. She still needs to try and find them some food. So I think on her way to go and look for him, she's going to try and see if she can catch something to eat for them, because it's very important that she finds food for him. If she keeps going back to him before finding any food, then she'll be wasting time, and it'll be sometimes better for her to leave him alone for a long time and only go and call him when she's found a meal. And I'm hoping that that's what happens today, but we can only wait and see, so don't go anywhere, and hopefully we'll get to see them greeting one another if she does make it back to him a little bit later. She's still quite far, but let's see what happens. Thank you very much, Ellen, again for your updates and for correcting me. She's not 6, she's 9 years old. And Ellen also confirms that she thinks it's Shadow. And I'll do my best to say hello to yours for you. We just need to try and find this leopard again. I think they may have lost sight of her. So we're just going to split up slightly. See if that doesn't help us find her again. I'm just going to follow this general pathway that Shadow was heading in. Because they will often take the path of least resistance. No, I'm not convinced we're going to find her again in here, so that's a prior warning. It's always a tricky thing. We want to follow them and watch them as closely as we can, but at the same time, we don't want to ruin their afternoon. So in thick areas like this, it can be a little bit tricky to keep an eye on them without disturbing them. So now we shall sit and wait and listen and see if we don't share any francolins, rattling testiculars, a host of different animals that could let off a cry if they catch wind of the leopard. Well, great news. Brent had left Sindile a little bit earlier to allow other vehicles to come and have a look, as he only allowed 3 vehicles per sighting, and now he's made his way back there. There's been another gap. All the vehicles that wanted to have a look have moved through, and Brent is back there with Sindile now. So from the mother to the cub, we'll see you a bit later. Welcome back, everyone. Temperatures drop. Oh, I think I just broke something on this cable. We've come back into where Shadow was. We've actually left and come back. So how amazing that you got to see Shadow with Scott. And I heard James found him while he was walking, and it does sound like she's coming towards this area. She's probably about 1 kilometer from where we are now, so it might be quite exciting. She might be coming to me tonight with a cub, so we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here. He's moved a little bit since we left. And you can see him, he's in the grass. You can see how well that camouflage is working again. So there he is, hiding in the grass. We will move the vehicle a little bit later to try to get a better view. But it could be quite exciting if Shadow comes back, and doesn't sound like she's killed anything from what I've heard, but it'll be nice to see a greeting ceremony. So he's been a good boy while Mom's been away this time. Hasn't wandered too far. We don't know how much wandering he did this morning while he was left alone, but for the majority of the day he stayed around this termite mound and this fallen down spike thorn. Hi Ginny, welcome on the Sunset Safari, Ginny. Ginny would like to know if he got into trouble and started calling, would she hear him from this far? Unfortunately not, Ginny. She is way too far for that. So she is still quite far for that, and even then, depending on the call, would depend on her response. So I just want to go have a closer look. I noticed it when we were in the sighting earlier. I just want to see if there's any of the culprits left behind. There's a weeping wattle, a pultiforum, that has been attacked by a ravenous beast. One of the caterpillars. I'm just trying to have a look which, if I can see if there's any culprits or larvae or pupae still behind. And let me just have a quick look there. I just saw these over here. And they've pupaed. This one has been attacked, but even though it doesn't look like much, this is a bagworm exoskeleton. This one has been attacked by something smaller. You can see something's burrowed in and eaten there, but the rest of them, there's quite a few on this tree. It's a very unusual bagworm. I haven't seen one like this before, particularly. So if we have a look quickly across to this pultiforum here, you can see how the leaves have been completely stripped on the one side of the bush, and that is from the caterpillars.
Oh guys, I just got a report in from Scotty. They found Shadow again and she's on the move. So while we're with this guy who's completely static, I think we're going to cross back to Scotty and see if you guys can keep up with Shadow while she's on the hunt.
Welcome back everyone, and we got really lucky and managed to find her again. She's just walking down the pathway in front of us. And what an afternoon this is. Brent with Sindile and us with Shadow. It's almost too good to be true. She's been busy scent marking. We only found her just a few moments ago. And she's scent marked twice already, pushing into her mother's territory, and that's not uncommon. And her mother, Karula, appears to be spending more time to the east of where she more usually, or where she spent time over the last few years, which was right in Djuma. Just going to start the vehicle for yours. Did you get my audio there, yours? So have you switched off? Okay, copy, good. Well, we're quite lucky. It's opened up fairly here, so we can follow her from further away and still see her. And it's also simply more enjoyable rather than crashing through the bushes. It's important that you're aware, though, especially if you're a new viewer, that the trees that we do drive over are very flexible and just pop back up after we've gone past them. We avoid the slower going hardwoods that would snap if we drove over them. What has she heard or seen now? Her body language is telling me that there's something nearby. Awesome, you'll be able to hear that hyena calling. And won't it be interesting if they bump into one another? She'll try and avoid them at all costs, and the hyena isn't very close. But it's calling intently. Is what you may have heard faintly. And we're going to continue now and see what happens next. Like I say, we're very fortunate. There's a very prominent trail, animal trail that she's using. And it's making our lives a lot easier, that's for sure. I'm wondering where she's going to pop out. It's really interesting to follow leopards on routes like this and pathways that they take. It certainly does help you to understand likely routes that you may expect to find them on. I wonder where these hyena are. They're probably about 3/4 of a mile away, judging by the sound of the loudness of the audio. But it could have been a little bit further than that. Uh-oh. Just disappeared into an aardvark burrow. There we go. And the sun is beginning to set. It's an incredibly beautiful evening here. And we're going to pop out onto a small clearing where we can show you this magnificent sunset from. All at the same time, not forgetting about Shadow. Beautiful leopard that we're following. And the good news is, it looks like we're about to pop onto a road. I'm just going to dash ahead and wait for her to cross the road in front of us. This is going to be beautiful. So get ready to take some screenshots. Just walking through the bush on our right, and she's going to pop out at any moment now. Look at her holding her tail up high, a characteristic of her mother as well. Absolutely awesome. Aren't we all so lucky? Now, the interesting thing is, she's not far from Sindile here. I've got my bearings, and she's probably a quarter of a mile away. And we may be lucky enough to witness them reunite. So Brent must not move a muscle, if possible. In sightings where two predators join, it's the vehicles that are stationary in that sighting. So in this case, it'll be Brent, who's already there with possibly two other vehicles, and the cub that get to stay. And the three that were following the animal into the sighting have to pull back. Otherwise, all of a sudden, there'd be too many vehicles. And it would cause too much pressure on the situation. So just a bit of a protocol that's important for you to be aware of. She could, of course, bump into something before she gets there. There's a lot of impala that hang around in this area, and she could possibly bump into them. I think she's taking a shortcut onto a road here. So I'm just going to loop ahead. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident I know what she's going to do. You can never be certain. And I'm fairly confident she's going to pop out somewhere here in front of us. Get it, Andrew. Kind of 10 o'clock. Well done. Well, Andrew's doing a great job tracking her through this very thick bush. But just over there it became impenetrable. I think, though, from her general direction of movement, it will bring her up towards us. And here she comes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Even though there's a lot of buffalo thorn branches in the way, it almost creates the perfect terrain for her to walk through. Look at all these colors. Wonderful. Where'd the tree go? Oh, there it is. So we're just going to shoot on ahead a little bit. Again, it is slightly risky, but that will allow me to pull a branch out of the car. This guy over behind us. And then wait for her at a weeping boer bean that I'm almost certain she's going to stop at. Before we do that, because I know we've got a little bit of time, I'm just going to let Andrew give you a sneak peek of the beautiful sunset. We're trying to cram in a lot here, but I'm confident it'll take a minute or two to get to the tree. And that is where she's going to pop out. Just got a question through from Debbie on Twitter, good evening, and thanks very much for sending your question through. I hope you enjoyed that brief glimpse of the sunset, but we do need to get to this weeping boer bean tree now. Debbie would like to know whether Shadow may have abandoned her hunting expedition because of the fact that she heard those hyena calling nearby. And I don't think so. I'm fairly confident that she would simply avoid the hyena, note that they're there, avoid them, but I've just spotted her, so she is coming to where we want her to come. And this is why it's great to follow leopards from time to time, because you get an idea of their habits. And she is going to come up to this big tree in front of us over here, that one over there, and sandbark at the base of it. So I can almost guarantee you that, because I've seen her do that before. It's going to be a tricky spot to get into position for, because it is very thick. I think if we just wait here, it should work out okay. So no, Debbie, back to your question. I don't think it would have hugely impacted on her decisions. It could well have, though. This is just my opinion. And she may simply want to touch bases again with her cub, which she left probably 12 hours ago, early this morning. Possibly move him to a new territory or a new turf or area where she could try and find some more prey. Excuse me. Any sight of it, Andrew?
No, not yet.
Maybe she will prove me wrong. Animals very often prove us wrong, and we think we know what they're going to do, but they don't. She was heading straight here, though, and she may have just stopped and heard something along the way. Well, it's been really interesting to notice the changes of in habits of the leopards in this area. Shadow, the leopard we're looking at now, has been spending more and more time on Djuma. She originally, when I first arrived here, would really come this far west, or east rather, and would hang out mainly in Arethusa. And I remember seeing her far on the western boundary of Arethusa, which was the first time I saw her and Sindile. But over the months, she's begun to push more and more to the east into her mother's territory, and we are seeing less and less of her mother, Karula. I still think she's on the way, and that's where I last saw her, heading straight towards this tree. It's so thick here, and there's such a deep riverbed that flows in front of us, that she could have dropped into the riverbed and walked straight past us already and onto the tree, onto the termite mound that this boer bean is growing out of. Or it could be that she stopped and she's assessing her surroundings. It's not uncommon for leopards to stop, listen and assess things. And I'm almost tempted to swallow my pride and go and have a quick look for her, rather than sitting here waiting for her to pop out on the tree, or to the tree where I predicted her to be. Either way, though, she's getting very close to Brent and Sindile. So even if we've lost her, and in the meantime, though, while we wait for the mother, why don't you go and check on Sindile and Brent and see how they're doing, and we'll keep you updated on anything that changes here. She could still pop out, but if she doesn't, it's not going to be long if she continued at the speed she was moving at until she gets to you guys with Sindile. So we'll keep you updated. See you later.
Welcome back, everyone. It seems like the playful character of this young male has come through and he started getting a little bit mobile. And I hear Scott is with Shadow not too far from us, so hopefully we'll be here when the reunion takes place. Sorry guys, someone's just calling me on the Game Drive channel. As you can see, it's gonna pop right. Let me just move my head out the way. He's actually coming closer to our vehicle, stalking us almost as a game. So you can see the front of our bonnet, that's how close he is to us while he sneaks around, and he's just deciding to get moving. He's been lying down all day. It's time to go exploring. Curiosity might get the better of him. He's goes stretching, cleaning his claws. Oh, there we go, playful little hop, skip and a jump. So to give you an idea guys how close he is to me, it's probably now about, at the closest he was there is about 4 feet, and not very perturbed with us at all. He looks like he might be heading back towards the boundary with Djuma, where his mother is coming from at the moment. Let me just, I'm going to have to, oh, let's wait, Phil's still got him there. He might do some nonsense jumping. Okay, we're going to have to move, I think, because Phil's busy putting us back into traction the amount he's turning to get that behind us. There we go, walking along this. Okay, we're going to zoot around. Oh, there we go, that is definitely a problem. So I've managed to wrap my earpiece around my steering wheel and pulled it off. I've broken my earpiece, just give me a second while I try to fix it. I'm just moving around to get a better view of this young male. He's sitting on that fallen down log there. Just wait here to see what he does next. Remember, so I'm just going to try to fix my earpiece. Sorry guys, I'll be back with you as soon as possible. Okay, we're going to try and follow him. I think he's heading back towards the boundary now. Thanks, guys. Did you see where he went, sir? Through, yeah. Thank you. Have you got him? To the right or to the left? Okay, we're back with him now. He is heading back in the same direction. I'm just going to move further forward to preempt his next move so we don't get stuck behind him again like that. So just hang on. And he is moving in the direction that his... Oh, sorry, we've nearly lost Phil. He's attached to a wait a bit thorn, a very, very thorny bush. Okay, so guys, we are coming up on Triple M boundary with Djuma, the boundary between Djuma and Arathusa. We're just trying to get around to where he is now. We are just ahead, we're very close to the power line junction where he was first seen this morning. And look what I can spot through the trees. Not only do we have a young male leopard moving towards us, okay, let's see if we can get a visual. He was heading straight towards this position. Going to stand by here quickly, my lights ready and stuff like that. I don't have a visual, we're just trying to see. I know where he last was before Phil got attached to the thorn tree. Phil, you're okay?
Yeah.
There you go, Phil's okay. Copy. Can you see the one pin pan for?
No.
It's in there.
Oh, this side?
Yeah. So we're just waiting. It is quite thick bush, so I don't want to drive too close to the youngster. I'd rather let him come out of the thick bush towards us.
Bren.
Standing by.
Bren.
Good, thanks. How are you doing, buddy?
They have the Northern Channel.
Sorry?
They have the Northern Channel.
The old Northern Channel or the
New one for them.
new one? Yeah, I do.
Use the one typical vehicles there.
No, I'll get Scott to chat to them.
Yeah, as soon as you cross the road, I'll pull out in any case.
Guys, you can hear that very soft it sounds like a little bleating warbler, distress calling, probably seen the youngster. So I think he might have moved a little bit further west. Hi Judy from San Francisco. Judy would like to know, can Sindile sense that his mother is near? I don't think so. I think it's just this time of the day when a young male leopard will start moving and playing. As I said, it's quite thick bush here, and at this time of the day I don't want to move around and bash around too much. I'd rather wait for him to move to us. If he lies down again, then we'll go look for him. But we're not going to go bashing and crashing through here. Unless he's moving, and which he might not be at the moment. He might have stopped to lie down. You can see Phil's just checking. We're using the camera as a set of binoculars to try spot if he's decided to sleep under a bush. There we go, we're just checking. Get my spotlight ready in the meantime. So we're looking for a bit of reflection on the eyes as we pan through with the spotlight. I'm just going to move the vehicle, see if he's a bit closer in, if he's decided to lie down again. So apparently there's a bit of conversation on the Twitter sphere about whether is this the usual time that he'll be collected, or is this he knows his mom's on the way. I think it's more the fact that this is the usual time. There he is. That he will start getting active. Let me just move. So he's decided to sit tight for a little bit. I'm just going to try and get full into a good spot. Now in this thicket, that's probably about as good as we're going to get. But he's just decided to stop and lie down. He's sitting there listening. We can hear the bird alarming. And there you go, he's going to start moving again. Yeah, it's too much. I've lost sight as he went into that thicket there. Pretty sure he's going to pop out the other side shortly. So it is very difficult at the moment. You can see him there. It looks like he's actually possibly just moving slowly through the bush. I think he's chasing those little testiculars that were alarm calling at him.
You ask Scotland and if they can put their life down there.
No. So we're just gonna stand by here. So while we wait for this young male to move further out of the thicket, we're going to cross across to Scotty, who's got a magnificent African sky view, and we'll be back a little bit later.
Welcome back, and we are sharing an incredible sunset here on this live sunset safari on Djuma Private Game Reserve in South Africa. What an evening it's been. I hear that Shadow is proving to be somewhat hidden at the moment, but at least you've got a visual of him, and I wonder how long it will be until Shadow arrives on the scene. It's been a wonderful afternoon, and I'm so happy to have all of you on board with us. The special moments that we share out here are truly unforgettable, and this incredible African sunset is the cherry on the cake. You'll notice a mountain range just below the clouds. That's the Drakensberg. It's a major mountain range that stretches through the majority of South Africa, all the way from the Cape. So probably about 1,000 kilometers, roughly 600 miles in length. It varies in altitude at any given point, but here it's about 2,000 meters above sea level. And it's a really beautiful mountain range. It's got thick, lush vegetation, beautiful fresh streams, full of fish and life. You'll also notice there's a lot of chatter this evening. The birds are calling. It's dead still, not a breath of wind. And you'll notice I've got my warm gear on. It's a little bit crisp this evening, and we are very, very happy though with the way the weather's turned out. For us to have clouds like we have had today is a rarity in winter. It's usually blue skies and sunny days. Like I said, I wonder how long it's going to be until Shadow arrives at her cub Sindile. But I think rather than me wondering what's going to happen, why don't you go and wait and see with Brent and Sindile? We'll see you a little bit later.
Welcome back, everyone. See, he's popped through of that thicket and he's sat down in a little open area and is laid down and is listening again. Just hang on, I've just got to be on the Game Drive channel for a few seconds and I'll be back with you. Yours going? Hi, yours. That's Ingwe is lying up probably 10 meters to the west of me, but general direction has been to the north east. Also, I don't know if you heard from Scotty that Shadow was heading in this direction. Copy. I'm going back to the WildEarthTV channel. Sorry about that, just keeping everyone up to date, so we're all on the same page. And you can see he's gone back into that sort of dozy mode after that little burst of energy. You can hear some fork-tailed drongas in the distance. Last sort of, I can imagine them, that last sort of hawking before dusk as they try to stuff as many insects in their bellies as before they go to roost. So fingers crossed that Shadow makes an appearance in the next little while. She was quite close, but the other possibility is if she hasn't made a kill, which I don't think she has from what I've heard from you guys, then she might not come back tonight. Hi, Sherry from Ohio. Sherry would like to know, if Karula came by here, what would she do? Well, Sherry, I have absolutely no idea. Sherry, she might possibly actually even kill the cub, or she might ignore it or hiss it or chase it. It's very difficult to predict what she would do. I haven't seen any interaction between Shadow and Karula since I've been here, so I would probably lean towards that she would be more aggressive towards the cub, possibly trying to kill it. But we've been really lucky to spend the majority of our evening with this little guy. Even though he hasn't been the most active, it's been wonderful being able to spend time with him. And there you can see some of those wonderful African colors coming through the sky. Another tough day in the office. I think, there we go, I saw a dove in the tree. I think that's what he might be after. Just gonna stand by here, see what happens. There he is. He's after the same dove I saw flapping in the tree. And I think that might be a bit too quick for you, my friend. Oh, a francolin. There we go. I thought it was a dove. I heard it flapping in the tree. There's a francolin in the tree. So, unfortunately, this is as much light as we can have, just in case we give his position away, or I'm quite sure he knows where the francolin is, but But the Franklin might know he's here. We will see shortly. Look at his tail going. So I can just see him at the edge of the light. He's below a tree that there's a Franklin roosting in. I'm trying to just make out what's going on. So forgive me for not looking at you guys, but I'm really just trying to see, because it's right on the edge of my sort of vision. What he's doing there. We can just see him coming through with the last of the ambient light around. You can just see the white tip of his tail top of screen disappearing. Okay, there we go. He's just in front of the vehicle. I can just make out the white tip of his tail and his head moving. And it looks like, there we go. Oh, he jumped. And he missed. That was a good attempt. I thought it was a little bit ambitious for him. But nearly. Well, good try, little guy. So this is what we were talking about earlier. A lot of his, he thinks he's heard something else. Maybe. Oh. We're going to have to get going again. Sorry. We need to get moving again. We need to get moving again. There we go. No worries. Let's try to see where he's gone. How's it, F? Good, that was close, huh?
Very close.
Did you see where you found it?
Yeah, it's almost there.
Can you still see him?
No, the tree here is the other side.
Okay. There you go, Ephraim's also here. We're just going to try to see if we can find him. He's gone into. Okay, watch your heads, guys. We're going through a bit of an archway here. So he ran off. What F says, what we couldn't see, there was another Franklin that went this way. So he ran off this way. So we're just going to try and find him again. Check down there now. Let's just double check he hasn't come up here. Oh, there's a hole. He seems to have done a ducker on us. Can't see him at the moment. We'll check a little bit further to the south. Maybe he went that way. Something in the grass. looks like he's given us the slip. And this is a very thick block. I might get lost trying to get out of here. There he is. Haha. You can run, but I'll find you, mister. So let me just rearrange the side light here quickly. There we go. So he ran off after another Franklin. Let me just let F know. Ephraim, I've got him again. Ephraim coming. Yeah, F is at my current position now. F, I've relocated. Copy, no problem. Copy, no problem. You're unlucky. Maybe he'll come across tomorrow. So what's he up to now? It looks like he's doing something, or that quarry bush is just tickling him in a funny way. He might still be looking for Franklin. Hi, Deb from Ohio. Deb would like to know what would happen if Quarantine or Djuma happened to come across Sindile. Deb, without a matter, or she wants to know whether they'll act a bit differently because they're out of their territory, or would their age play a factor. Deb, I have not a shadow of a doubt in my mind if either of those two came across this guy, they would kill him on the spot. It doesn't matter age or the fact that he is so close now. He is under my bull bar. He's becoming very curious. He's coming right up. He's right there. I can only see a piece of him because he is so close. Here he goes. He's going to walk out now. Let me just try and move out of the way for you guys. You can see how close he is to me there.
Just in the bush. Just in the leaves in the bush.
Looks like he's still on the trail of Franklin. I have to move the vehicle again, guys, so just bear with me for a second.
Keep the light on him.
Yeah, well, first.
Come on,
Thanks very much, Phil. My log lens has managed to get tangled in something else. Oh, here we go. If he's going to run past this there, we'll just stick it for a time for a second. So he's just changed the direction he was moving. Oh, he's gone up the tree after Franklin. gone straight up that quarry tree after a bird or a squirrel or something. It looks like very not a very elegant dismount, but he definitely missed whatever it is. But this is the type of hunting we've been speaking about quite a bit at this age, when he is left. Oh, and he's off again at a rate of knots. And I don't know if we're going to be able to follow him through here, but we will try. I think he's chasing the same poor Franklin from tree to tree. Maybe his theory is he can tire it out. I don't know if that's very wise or practical theory, young Sindile. He disappeared off in this general direction at great speed. I just saw his bottom and his tail disappear. Maybe he decided to climb the termite mound. He did for fun. Haha. There we go. I've got to get over a log. I'm going to see if we... He's right on top of that termite mound now. So I think maybe he wasn't chasing anything, he just decided to leap for joy to the top of the termite mound. There we go. So guys, we're going to cross across to Scotty to say goodnight. It's been an absolutely amazing afternoon. Scotty with Shadow and us sitting here with Sindile. So we'll be back shortly. I'm going to see if I can get a better view. So have fun with Scotty for a few minutes, and then we'll be back in 2 ticks.
Welcome back, everyone, and so happy to hear that you have been continued to get spoiled by Sindile, jumping around, playing in the quarry bushes. Absolutely awesome stuff. So I'm going to make this brief because I don't want to keep you away from any more action. But thanks to all of you for following this afternoon safari and for being on board with us. Thanks to Nikki and Eugene in Final Control, and to Andrew on camera. He nearly fell off the vehicle while we were rushing to Shadow, so sorry about that, Andrew. And well done to Brent and Phil. What a day it's been. I'm so happy we could all share it with you. And also, we cannot forget to thank James, because he found Shadow for us. He went for a walk and found her this afternoon. So a big thank you to James, the other presenter. We'll see you all next time. And back to Brent and Sindile. Thanks so much. It's been so much fun.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still with Sindile as he keeps us highly entertained with his Franklin hunting antics. It looks like they're not over yet, as it looks like he's heard something just off that termite mound. But I'm going to start chatting. It's been absolutely wonderful today. Oh, don't disappear down the back now. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out where he's going to go so I can move if I have to. Okay. Oh, there goes my... So it's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, we started off this morning on the tracks, and we were lucky enough to find him this morning, or thanks to some help from our friends. And it's very important that we work as a team out here, that all of us work together to show everyone the best game experience possible. From you guys on the back of our vehicles to the guests who are staying here at the lodges. We're going to have to hold on. We're going to actually do some quite hairy angular driving for a little bit. Don't worry, we won't roll over. It might look like we might. We might lose poor Phil on the back there, but don't worry, it looks a lot worse than it is. You can actually take these vehicles to about 45 degrees, and we're not even close to that yet. I'm just trying to see where he disappeared to, or if he's just lying down on a section of the termite mound I can't see. Oh, he has done it again. He has disappeared. Is he in the tree? He is. He's up in a tree after Franklin again, or after a bird. We can just see the tree moving. There he is. I can just see his eyes in the tree. So, as I was saying, it's been such a fantastic day. Where's he going to come out? Oh. Not sure this is going to be the most delicate. There he is. So he is continuing to try catch birds in the trees at night, which is very interesting behavior. Not the most effective behavior. So guys, it's been such a fantastic day. Sorry, I keep getting distracted every time I try to talk by young Sindile. Oh, he's going right up the tree. Straight up to the top. I think he's more playing now than actually trying to hunt anything. We can't see him now. He's gone straight up the tree. So if we come out a little bit, you'll see how high this tree is that he's disappeared into. So he's somewhere in that top blend. Or anyway, since we're nearly over and we can't see him up in the tree there, I'm just going to say goodnight very quickly. It's been such a fantastic evening with you guys. We're wonderful being able to spend so much time with Sindile, and also having Scotty with Shadow, and so close to meeting up, but I think she's still hunting. So we're going to try and get a last few views of Sindile, and hopefully you'll join us all for the sunrise safari. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day or evening or night wherever you are, and we're going to try see if we can find him one more time.